Alrighty, Mr. Gatekeeper here. And boy, Mr. Chris, thank you for your patience, bud. You're gonna love this one, man. I put my heart into this one for you, bud. You done a lot for me, my friend, and I went to the extra measure to express how much I'm thankful. Very neat little driver here, man. Hopefully by Christmas you'll have a little something to put this driver into. This is laced with some candy paint. This is what I'm kind of calling the candy builds. Kind of going with a blue and white theme. Okay, Chris. This right here is your remote port, okay? This right here is same size as a regular stereo plug, whatever, you know, like that. And you want to use this in a mobile. I can do a Y-mote with that plug. That's just a smaller plug. Here's your SSB switch right here. SSB switch on and off. Okay. Now watch this bad boy light up. Let's go ahead and turn this light off. Boy, that is pretty, man. I'm a big fan of blue. Let's leave it right there, see if we can't use that as a thumbnail for the video. Now, I've done this in the past with a couple of drivers of this exact box. The preamp switch right there. And basically, this is a kind of a ground effect. If you didn't have that blue that you're seeing inside is not just the fan. It's, if I could turn the fan off, I was thinking about putting a switch for that fan, but there's a lot of stuff crammed in there already. But basically, there's 3 LEDs on each side, and they are hidden up under this lip. And I've done this before, and I think I've only put 2. One of them I did 1. Well, this one is 3 on each side. I'll show that to you here in a minute. But it kind of gives a ground effect type thing. If there wasn't a LED fan, you'd be able to see it even better. Because if you just look at it at first glance, you think the blue right here is from this fan, where in all reality it's not, because everything that you can see right here is under the board. You see what I'm saying? Let's take that off and show you that. Well, this candy paint is slick, man. Let me put this down and take this off, okay? I don't like to touch the box if I don't have to, boy. It's the only thing about that candy paint, boy. It does leave some fingerprints. Ooh-wee. There you go. Look at that, man. There's your fan. Voltage regulating circuit. Boy. Got you a non.2879 Toshiba. So basically, this is what I'm talking about right here. Give me something to point with. Right here. 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 Those are the LEDs. 3mm LEDs. They're down in and give a glow. Let me turn this on to show that now, since the fan's over that way. See what I'm saying? So there's the glow there. Let's see if I can get down up under here. See, even from this angle, you still can't see the bulb. The bulb is hidden. Had to do a little bit of mathematics to get the resistors just right for that. That's what these two resistors are right here. I was going to attempt to do one resistor for all 6 LEDs, but I was having some issues with the heat. Sorry about that. The old phone died. I seem to have to restart videos a lot. Seems like something always goes wrong. Let's spark up this celebration cigarette, because this is for sure a celebration, man. At least I know that's how Chris is feeling right now. Anyway, like I was talking about the resistors for the undercarriage lighting, shall I say, the 6 LED 3mm. Like I said, I was attempting to use one LED to back the voltage down, but I was having a little issue with the heat. You wouldn't think that 6 LEDs would pull that much heat, but just getting the value just right, this and that. So I then just came to the conclusion to just put one current limiting resistor per 3. As you can see right there, that's what those two resistors are. Maybe I should zoom in like that more. Let's try it right here. Well, I meant to make this unique. This has all metal CLAD capacitors in it. There's not one silver dip mica in the whole box. The only capacitors you see other than that are ceramics, polyester type. Other than that, it's all metals. Got a metal on the output. Metal that there to ground on the transistor strip, pill strip. And a metal on the output tune. Output capacitor. And last but not least, metal on the input tune. Now, I'm not trying to sell snake oil. The metal capacitors do not make more watts, I don't believe. I've heard they do, but I don't believe they do. As a lot of you know, these capacitors, especially in the places where they get more hot, as they heat up, cool down, heat up, cool down, heat up, cool down, they will slowly begin to lose their value over a long period of time. And with them being metal mica, being engulfed with a metal case, silver plated case, they have a better chance at having more longevity, if you see what I'm saying. So that's kind of the gist behind all that. The reason why you don't see, you know, other builders doing all metal, because it just isn't cost efficient. And yeah, there's really no need for it, but just trying to be creative, trying to see if I can't make something at least possibly last a little longer, you know, or as long as it can. Let's just put it that way. But they're not all that bad as long as you buy them in great bulk. But we use silver dip mica caps because they're able to get very, very hot and still stay stable. Alrighty. Went ahead and done something new that I have not done before. And that is to painted the case. Now I'm going to give somebody a shout out that I don't think I've ever gave a shout out to before. And that's Mr. 123. Mr. 123 out there around Chicago. 123 built. And the reason why I'm giving him a shout out is because the first time I've ever seen a board painted before is by Mr. 123 up there, Mr. Danny. Mr. Danny. So that's the first time I'd ever seen a board painted, and I thought it was a really neat idea. One of the great advantages of painting a board like this is it will never oxidize. The copper will never oxidize. And as long as you keep everything clean, it's always going to look as you see it, just like here. And it's nothing too far-fetched, you know, painting the board. It's absolutely not far-fetched, because if you look at any circuit board these days, the majority of them are green, correct? Well, that's paint. That's just a default paint. And that's the reason why they have the paint on there, is so the copper that's up under it does not oxidize. Now, I always thought it was just plastic or something, but that is actually a certain type of paint. So that's what it's mainly for there, oxidation and stuff like that. Looks, of course. And of course you can do any color. So I think it's a fairly good idea, painting like this, and I have plans to play around with it a little bit more. But I think it looks good. I think maybe I could have used a little bit more white in other areas, but other than that, it looks great. I like the way it looks, and I know Mr. Chris does too, and that's all that matters. So, alright, man, I think that's about it. Other than the preamp, take a look at this preamp right here. That preamp, boy, is on a micro relay. It's something new I was wanting to try out. Let me back up from it there. See if we can get that angle. That preamp's on a micro relay. It's hard to feel a lot in this case. There we go. It's on a micro relay. Of course, it is still big enough for what preamp's doing. Still adequate size. But anyway, let me quit talking, y'all, and let's see some output. Now, I will say this isn't the strongest one transistor amp that I have built. And I think the only other thing I can mention is I did actually make these transformers by hand. I can't recall why I did that. I think I was just kind of playing around, just made those transformers by hand. They're not the absolute prettiest things, but I did make those by hand there. I've been playing around with doing that a lot lately. But there's your remote right there, just kind of keeping the blue theme there. That's your remote jack. Okay. But this will be a great driver for a 4-transistor amp. Okay, she's doing right about 30 bird or so. A little hair over about 120 watts. Like I said, it's not the absolute most powerful 1-transistor amp that I've done in the past. You know, some of them come out stronger than others. You know, that's just the way it goes. But it will make a great driver. Great driver. And boost you up over 100 watts. So, and plus, as you know, a lot of people know, usually a dozy will show you more than a bird. So, as I did see it on the dozy over at my girlfriend's house, it was peaking around 140. Because I remember I was like, I can't get it 150. Right there about 140. Alrighty, let's go ahead and see this bad boy rocking and rolling here. And check the preamp. The preamp seems to work very well. Like I said, this is your SSB delay. If you push it that way, it's engaged. Back to you is off. Okay. I guess I should have grabbed my remote and plugged it in. I usually do just to show the remote working, but I forgot to grab it. Alright, we're just going to be hitting it with the hot radio over here. Okay, and we'll go ahead and show the RMS first. Okay. We're on a 1,000 watt slug. I know I need to get me 100. I have 100, but it's not calibrated well. It's way off. So I like to use that 100 I have's used too. It's probably got a lot to do with it. But anyway, we're on the 1,000-watt slug. Okay, we're on that supply, which is at 14.5 volts. I'm just going to leave it at that from now on. Alrighty, here's what we're getting on the RMS. Oh, alright, it's right there about 40 RMS. Oh, maybe 45. Alrighty, here's your peak. Oh, so that's right there about 120. Maybe trying to get to 130, but well, there you go, buddy. I know you've been waiting a little bit on it, man. I want to appreciate you for being patient. And to everybody else, thank y'all so much for your patience. I am finally getting very, very close to being absolutely caught up. When I mean caught up, what I mean by that is, if I told somebody 3 months, and it's now 4 months, and I'm pretty much about a month past the estimated time, that's me being behind. So what I mean by that is me being caught up means everything I have here going on is not past the time that I've talked about. So I'm very, very, very close to that point finally, and I have not been to that point probably since I started. Alright, y'all. Well, it's Halloween out here on this cat picking in. Let's see if I can show that preamp working here. I don't think there's nobody on right now, but there you can see it's increasing nothing because there ain't nobody on the channel. But well, there you go. That meter is very, very, very tight too. Alright, well, we're going to get this lid put on here and get some screws in it. Oh yeah, one more thing before I stop the video. Another thing I went ahead and did for you, bud, as you see, we got the blue and black wire for you. I even went to the trouble, man, to paint this Anderson plug for you, man. I went all out with this thing, keeping that blue theme for you, brother. Okay, and I got another Anderson I'm going to be sending to you to put on your other power wire. Okay, I'm going to be trying to get stocked up on these Anderson plugs of all sizes because I absolutely love them. I think everyone should be using Anderson plugs or some sort of quick disconnects like that. So I've got the other one that's almost done being painted. With these plugs, with these plugs right here, I made sure to primer them before I put the paint on them, just to make them a little bit more sturdy there. And of course, a little bit of it, you know, scrapes off right here up under it where it's plugged in. But you know, just for looks, y'all. You can make anything look good, but if it don't work right, there's no use of it looking good. So, well, there you go. Sorry about the long video, y'all. God bless. 73rds. We got about 2 or 3 more candies to go. Candy builds. I hope to do a lot more. I wouldn't be able to do it without the big man that sits on the circle of the universe. God bless. 73rds. I'm out. Shout out to Real Deal, Mr. Black, 073, Mr. Mud Duck, Chris, 338. Y'all be good. We gone. Bye-bye.